It is Thursday, June 25th. Watkunorados Oguego, Joe Delarone Ujets. Welcome to the COVID-19 Task Force Daily Update. Today is a bit of a special day because it is our 100th broadcast. Who would have thought that when this all started back in early March that we'd still be here in late June bringing you updates, but that's exactly what we're doing. And today we will welcome Arnold Lazare, who's a member of the task force and has been since day one, and he'll bring you today's update. Arnold.
Thank you, Kahnawake. Good afternoon. Today is primarily just updates, so we'll try and make it as fast as possible. To begin with, we were talking about the bus analogy where the task force was driving a bus and half the people wanted us to go faster and half wanted us to go slower in a snowstorm. Well, to continue on that analogy, we've arrived at our destination in one sense. We're still in a snowstorm. The winds are blowing and it's very dangerous. And now it's time for people to decide where they want to get off the bus. Do they want to get off in a snowbank in an unplowed area? Or do they want to wait and go into the terminal where we know the place is salted and dry? And that's what the task force has been attempting to bring people to a level where they feel comfortable. We went into phase one about 3 weeks ago, and the numbers are still very good. Being aware that any momentarily slip up could cause severe repercussions, but overall we're doing relatively well, and we wish to continue. As we move into phase two, we've broken it down into phase 2 and 2A. So once again, we would like to give some highlights of the important data. First and foremost, and probably more restrictive, is the Canada-US border continues to be closed to essential travel only. This is anticipated July 21st. We have no control over that, but we're bound to follow. That's the Canada Quarantine Act. Nobody knows what's going to happen for sure. So until there's official notice, July 21st, anybody who crosses the border will be subject to the 14-day self-isolation, as that we want to keep people safe. The good news for the members of the Executive Directors Committee is that the essential services people are allowed to travel a little bit further and give a much needed break to many of the first responders and frontline services. Although we do know that the Maritimes are not allowing people from Quebec in at this point, but it allows people to travel a bit more. The outdoor public gatherings to a maximum of 50 people have been permitted. Once again, maintaining social distancing or physical distancing, the hand sanitization, and masks. So if someone wants to do something in an open area, they can do up to 50. The indoor and outdoor gatherings in residences has been expanded to 10 people per residence. Now, it's important to say that this is a maximum of 10 for the area. What we don't want is to have more than 10 people. So if someone's going to have use a house, theoretically 5 people could be outside and 5 people could be inside. And of course, the physical distancing is the important part there. If people have to be or cannot respect the 2 meters, then the masks need to be worn. The intent of that is we want people to begin getting to a new normal, but we really at this point don't want to open up to house parties. That's not the intent. This is really for families, so that the stress of being apart the last few weeks can be slowly reduced. So once again, if you see your neighbors having a party, it's best to call the peacekeepers. Now, having said that, it's not the intention to be people police. So we really hope that the Kahnawake people are educated enough to understand that social distancing is the key to keeping safe. And in reality, there's not many houses that would be able to accommodate more than that many people safely. As of Wednesday, July 1st, okay, the dine-in restaurants will be eligible to be opened if they want. Of course, they need to have all the levels in place, and they need to be inspected. Now, having said that, the bar sections will have to remain closed, just because if you add alcohol in people, the inhibitions gets lowered, and we don't want to have any positive cases because of it. To the churches will be reopening, eligible, with a capacity of 50 people. And once again, if the space is available. So the task force is working with the different groups to ensure that proper levels are set. Yard sales and similar activities can be permitted. Now, once again, the onus has always been on the individual. If someone's going to have a yard sale, they need to ensure that precautions are taken. Payment by cash should be put in a plastic bag so that it can be sterilized at a different time, and the items that are put out should somehow be sanitized. And if people, once again, if they don't feel comfortable, they always have the option of not participating. The indoor cleaning services, we do know that there's a number of people that bring outside, well, their non-family members in to clean. That's allowed. And as you may have heard, non-contact outdoor organized sports will be allowed, provided they have a safety plan that is approved. Now, there's almost like a double safety plan there. They would have to have a plan that's approved by their host organization, be it Baseball Quebec or Soccer Quebec, and the task force. Once again, we're maintaining a stricter level of care just to keep the community safe, and we've been doing, Kahnawake has been doing excellent, as Dr. Gauthier mentioned. Now, the one thing I'd like to highlight today is we've chosen July 20th as the tentative target date for bars and indoor gyms. This is based on the health and safety, and again, we are faced with inconsistencies from our neighboring governments. For instance, today, the Quebec government put out a press release saying that the green light has been given for casinos, but there's no mention of the date. So the Kahnawake will continue to follow what's right for Kahnawake. And of course, we will watch what they do on the outside, but at the end of the day, we need to continue our consistent vigilance so that it works for the safety of Kahnawake. We have a holiday weekend coming up, and 2 weekends, so we want people to enjoy. We want people to be safe. And once again, the quote that we like the most is, "It's not the virus that moves, it's the people that move the virus." So Kahnawake, continue your good work and have a good weekend. Kahnawà.
And thank you so much, Arnold. And good update. Of course, a lot of this was brought forth yesterday. A little more detail here. Just a little clarification. I know a lot of people are excited about having the yard sales starting up. And one thing, these are a good tool to have if you're having a yard sale. If you're holding or hosting a yard sale, have 3 or 4 of these or even more sitting along the tables, and that'll really help. And of course, people will be bringing their masks. And from both sides, if you're not comfortable with somebody who's shopping at your tables and they're not wearing a mask and you require it, tell them that. And on the opposite side, of course, just make sure that where you're shopping has some of these. That would really help. Just wanted to mention before we leave here that the splash pad at Orville Stand-Up Park is under repair. I guess you probably heard the news on that, but it should be back in operation next Tuesday, which is the 29th. So I don't think we have some really hot weather coming up for the next couple of days, so maybe the timing on that worked out well. I'd like to thank Arnold for joining us today. He's been on many occasions in these first 100 episodes of the Daily Update. And we'd like to thank everybody who's been joining us and has been with us for as many of these as possible. It's been quite a ride for all of us. The technical team here has done a wonderful job. And the community, of course, has done a great job of keeping itself safe by following directives. It's been tough, but we've done a good job of it. Some changes we've had over the last little while, of course, is that no longer, in the last couple of weeks, we're no longer having the updates on the weekend. And at a certain point, we may go to 3 days a week. So we'll see how that all goes. So in the meantime, we'll leave you with a brief highlight reel of some of the 99 previous daily updates. Thanks for watching. Kahnawake. Wat Kahnawake and welcome to Kahnawake 911. Today we're going to launch what is going to be a daily update on the COVID-19 pandemic.
This morning I was with Chief and Council, and a Mohawk Council Executive Directive known as the MCED was unanimously supported that officially enacted Emergency Operations Center, which is known as the Kahnawake COVID-19 Task Force. It's facing our community, it's facing the entire region, and for the most part around the world.
Kahnawake declared a public health emergency, and with that, it means that this pandemic constitutes a serious threat to our community.
We also want to use this opportunity to give a message to the community that this is real. This is not a joke. The way we're preparing is to limit the contact as much as possible.
It's a swab. It looks like a Q-tip that the nurse would take and put it in the back of your nose.
Not hugging my grandchildren. I mean, I see them at a distance, but it's not the same.
I don't want to see any of the community sick. I don't want to see.
It's been a long 2 weeks. And 2 weeks ago, today, terms like social distancing, self-quarantine, these words we maybe never even heard of or rarely used. But now it's part of our everyday language. All our lives have changed.
I know it's hard. It's really hard. I miss everybody. I miss my family.
Stay healthy and keep up the good work.
Re-entering society? Well, we're a part of the world. We have to re-enter society. And it starts with our ancestral spirituality.
Tawagdahumzoni a kehrori ne ungwanada di yungwa sats de Kahnawake hronu, tanu watski owa dohetste.